Hello everyone, my name is Greer Jonas. I am a numerologist, painter, and teacher. And today I'd like to welcome you to a very special interview with Ahalya Running Deer. She is a spiritual mentor and teacher. Welcome, Ahalya.
Greer, I'm so happy to be here with you.
Happy to be here with you as well. So Ahalya and I got to talking, and we were talking about the state of affairs now. It seems like from my clients and also my friends that everyone is going through something. It's kind of like an emotional roller coaster where things just don't seem right. And while talking to Ahalya, we started realizing that there's something else going on. Now, I know on a numerology point of view, 2019 adds to a 12, and that adds to a 3. And the 3 in numerology is all about communication. It's all about self-expression. It's all about creativity, sharing your voice. And oftentimes, we go through the shadow, which is not sharing our voice, which is what is getting in the way from us sharing who we are. So that might be part of it. But Ahalya was telling me that there's another part that we can look into. Ahalya, can you share your enlightenment with us?
I'll do my best. So when Greer and I were talking, there's a tendency to say everybody is going through something, and I think that's probably true, although I don't think everybody knows that they're going through something. But those of us that are really working on ourselves to become more clear and to better direct our lives, really pay attention to whatever's occurring for us in the moment. So I think this is a really important time in the history of our humanity as to evolution, like we're growing up. And there's a planetary, first of all, I am not an astrologer, but I follow astrology. My teacher is a master astrologer. So astrology has always been something I've paid attention to, along with numerology and other methodologies that give me more information to sort through. So right now, starting May last year, so it's almost going to be almost a year, there's a planetary configuration called Uranus and Taurus, or is it Taurus and Uranus? I think it's Uranus and Taurus. See, I told you I wasn't an astrologer, but I do know how it affects us. So Uranus is this transitory planet. It has this magnificent energy of transcendence. Taurus is an earth sign. It's very grounded. So the way that I look at it, and what I've noticed in my own life and those of my friends, is that here we are in this grounded energy of Taurus, because we're in a Taurus cycle. And Taurus is about many different things, but if you think of it as being earth, so it's in our humanness. And then you have this transcendental energy coming in that is not anything to do with earth, but we are spiritual beings having the human experience. So it's perfect because it causes us to have to look at where we stand in our humanness and our spiritual growth. And it can rock us. It can really rock us because there's this new energy where you can no longer ignore something about you that you kind of had a suspicion you needed to work on or change or get more clear about. Well, now's the time that is really happening. So it's an amazing time, even though it can be a little disconcerting. I had some friends, we were talking recently about us, and there's a word, discombobulated. I don't know if everybody knows that word, but discombobulated is pretty self-defining. And that's kind of how people feel. So it's a real important time to take care of yourself, to pay attention, to love yourself, and to understand that it's a process. It's just part of our journey, and really embrace it instead of whining about it, because it's an extraordinary time. That's my experience anyway. I'd like to whine about it, but won't do any good, so I'm embracing it.
So are there things that we can do to help us with that?
Oh, sure. There's always things we can do. That, you know, we're really fortunate today in this day and age that we have so many avenues available to us to assist us to learn about ourselves. And learning about ourselves is the most important. It's really the most important thing, isn't it? Lao Tzu that says, I don't want to misquoting, but it's one thing to know other people, but or have great wisdom, but the real wisdom comes from knowing yourself. Even Master Jesus said, know thyself, you know, and then once you get there, you know thyself some more. So it's really about knowing yourself so that you understand what is it that triggered you, what might be the reason behind that, and do things that calm you, ground you, center you. There's such normal things that people forget to do them, like breathing. I mean, people forget to breathe properly. When you're upset, if you sit down and just take a few deep breaths, just to bring yourself, you know, back into center and grounded, you create a space where you actually can think more clearly. But people forget to do that. They want to hear something glamorous, something that they've never heard about before, that they're sure if somebody will just tell them to do that, that'll cure everything. But it's not like that. It's us learning to use our humanness to stay present and grounded as our soul evolves more. I mean, it's all the same thing as we evolve more. So breathing, meditating, but, you know, I didn't mean to say but. It's just that meditation is really important. But sometimes when I say meditate, people, you know, roll their eyes. You know, it's like, oh, I tried that. That's too hard. Okay, well, learn to be quiet. You know, if everybody would take some time and shut off their phone and shut off their computer and their TV and not even read, just be with themselves, just be with their own company in some kind of place that empowers them. It could be their own room. It could be out in the garden. It could be taking a walk. Getting away from that so that the mind isn't constantly going, and finding some kind of connection with your own self, because you're really your best friend and it's good company. But we have to get off the treadmill of this appointment, that appointment. I'm old enough to know, to have lived when you actually had to go in the house to get to the phone to answer it. Now, you know, people take the phone into the shower. You know, it's like the phone is, so just getting off of that so that you relax a little bit and understand that, excuse me, understand that whatever you're going through is an opportunity for you to learn and grow and be kind to yourselves. You know, there's nothing wrong. You're growing. If you went to the gym and you hadn't been working out, you would start working out and, oh my gosh, everything would hurt, right? And you wouldn't think this was very great. But you have this idea about, you know, how you want to be healthier and, you know, have a thinner waistline or whatever. So you stick with it. And it's the same thing when you're doing that about your awakeness. You know, it's the same thing. Just stay with it. Be kind to yourself, one step at a time.
I know, I see walking down the street in New York City, everyone's looking at their cell phone. It's crazy. Yeah. So I know that there are some things that you have worked with people um, to help them with this. So you're a mentor. Can you share some of that with us?
Sure. Like I mentioned, there's a lot of things available for us. There's teachers and courses, and you have to find what resonates with you, what you're looking for at the time. For me, I call my work self-mastery and shamanism because shamanism is my chosen approach to the philosophy of walking Mother Earth and to healing. But self-mastery is the foundation of everything that I do. It's not about becoming, self-mastery is not about becoming like some kind of great benevolent master that walks around blessing everybody. Self-mastery is really self-defining. If you look at it, it's about mastering the self. And we all can do it if we're willing to do the work. And so when I work with people, it's just wherever they're at, we just begin a conversation. What's going on for you? What is it that you want? What is it that you don't want? We need to get that out of the way. And I just work with what I have been studying for 50 years and teaching for 40, that and guiding people to find their own answers, their own direction in their own context. So it's about, my goal is to empower people to their own acknowledgement and experience of the greatness within them and their connection to whatever it is that they call a higher power, whether that's God or Source or the Tao. It doesn't matter. It's all the same thing. So I love to work with people right where they are in their life, because that's where the work is. That's where the evolution is right where we stand in our life. And we always can become clearer and clearer and clearer and create a better and a better life for us in our own context. So that makes sense?
That makes total sense. And I know that we kind of mentor each other, so I know the kind of thing that you do. And we're going to go into more detail on how to reach you and also how to reach me and more information about that. So for now, just thank you so much for coming into my home and just being part of this whirlwind we're on. So thank you so much.
Oh, Greer, you're so welcome. And I just want to say that of all the things that I have done in my own looking for clarity, that your assistance with numerology has been superb. It's been very, very expanding in my experience of the energies of things that we take so for granted, like numbers. And you're right, this 3 year, you have taught me that this is a really dynamic year for all of us. So I'm so glad we had this conversation. Thank you so much, Greer. Thank you, anybody who's listening to this.
Thank you so much. I'm going to share what we're about. So, are you a person who is consciously working on yourself? Do you think you could go faster and get yourself better results? Ahalya has been on a path of higher consciousness for 50 years and teaching self-mastery and shamanism for 40. Her mission is service to humanity through personal evolution And Ahalya offers an online self-mastery and shamanism seminar, shamanic healing sessions, private mentoring, and live immersions. You can visit ahalyabagio.com or reach out to support@ahalyabagio.com for more information. So this is a little bit about me. I'm an intuitive numerologist, teacher, and painter living in New York City. I've been conducting personal and business numerology readings for over 30 years. Your reading will be recorded through Skype, phone, and in person. I am teaching some 4-week introduction to numerology class starting the first week of May. And this will be followed by a 4-week advanced numerology class in June. So you can contact me to schedule a reading, get a class schedule, or find out more information at greerdjonas@gmail.com. My website is numerologyforyoursoul.com, and my art site is greerjonas.com. So I want to thank you all for listening to our interview. Many blessings to you all, and namaste.